Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Christina and thank you guys so much for watching. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a full face of Stellar Beauty. So I have their foundation, their concealer, and they have two eyeshadow palettes, but I grabbed this one because it's more neutral and wearable. The other one was like all blue, so I was like, yeah, no. And then they have three setting powders, but the other two were holographic setting powders, and I have combo skins that are holographic, and I'm just like, yeah, no. That's probably gonna like be like boom, 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 shiny, oily, no, no, no. So I just got the regular setting powder. And then they have two blushes, but I got this one because the other one was like really orange and like just super warm. So this one's more pinky, so I got this one instead. And then, okay, so for this look right here, because I'm giving you guys two different looks, this one I used their foundation and their concealer, but I used my own setting powders. Because honestly, for this collection, this whole video, honestly, the only thing I was drawn to was the foundation and the concealer. Like that's what made me want to try the brand, but since the brand was new, that's why I wanted to do like a full face of Stellar Beauty, because it's a new brand. Otherwise I would have just gone the foundation and the concealer, because that's really honestly the only things that like compelled me to buy it. The other things are very like and you'll see what I mean later. So that's now this is with just the Stellar Beauty powders. The other ones, like I said, were my own powders. This one is the Stellar Beauty powder and their foundation and concealer. So let's get started on the let's dig deep into this brand, because this brand is just really odd in consistency and like thought process, like how much thought they put into it. Like it just throws me off. Okay, so okay, let's just start. So let's start with their eyeshadow palette, right? The reason why I gave you two looks is because basically that's the only thing you can create is two looks. Why, you ask? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because there's 10 colors, right? 10 colors. 6 of the colors are shimmers. 4 are mattes. Of the 6 shimmers, 4 of them are gold. 2 of them are red. Where's the variety? Please tell me, okay? And then the 4 mattes, one of them is a brown bone color, the other 3 are browns, but that's fine. But the point is, where's the variety? If you look at this palette, you're just like, okay. Literally everything looks the same. Like the 4 golds look so similar to each other, and the 2 reds look very similar to each other as well. Like, yes, this red is a little bit more cranberry, this one's a little bit more burgundy, but really they're pretty much so very similar. And all the golds, look at that, like they're all like so very similar. Like I know they're slightly, like one slightly darker than the other, slightly different undertone, but honestly if you put one gold eyeshadow on one eye and another gold on the other eye, I bet you nobody could tell the difference, not even you. Like it's just so similar. Like I feel like for this palette, they were trying to do like Urban Decay Naked vibes, but it's just like, okay, I understand that you want to do like a palette where like it's like the same vibe, but it's different. Like the Naked palette, like yeah, it was like the Naked vibe, but the thing is each color looked totally different than the other one. Do you get what I mean? But they were like a cohesive like idea. But this is just like, this isn't the same thing as a Naked palette. It's not the same vibe. It's literally like the same colors repeated. That's just not the same thing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like you're paying for 10 colors that like they all look the same. It's so weird. Like you're paying for 10 colors, but you're really only getting 3. You're getting a gold, a red, and a brown. That's really what you're getting, you know? And then as for creating different looks, this is really hard to be creative with, because like your 3 mattes, look at them. So it's just like a light brown, a medium brown, and a dark brown. So basically this is gonna be your transition, this one's gonna be your crease, and this is gonna be your outer corner. Boom, that's it. You know what I mean? So the reason why I did 2 looks for you guys is because you only have golds and reds, right? So I figure since all the golds look the same and since all the reds look the same, if you do 2 looks, basically I gave you the whole palette, right? And since you only have 3 mattes, then, you know, I'm basically giving you the whole palette. So for this first look, I didn't use the last color because I didn't want it to be like really dark or anything. I want it to be really soft glam, and I think it turned out really nice and I was happy with it. But I mean, I could have done that with any other palette that I already own, you know? So it was just like, yeah, no, didn't need to get this palette. So for the second look, I just thought it would be the same thing. Use the transition, use the crease, and then just change the lid color, right? But it turns out that the red looks really weird. Like if you look at that red, it's just like, maybe it's not that the red looks weird, it's that the red doesn't go with the brown. Like their undertones and stuff, like their shades, like they don't go together, like they don't complement each other, you know? Like you created these 2 reds to go with these 3 browns, but yet they don't go together, you know, they're not compatible looking, so it looked really weird. So since I used the more cranberry one, I decided to grab the more burgundy red and put it on top to see if maybe like a darker red would make it look better, because it was a little bit too bright, I thought was the problem. Like I thought the problem was like it was a little too bright, but yeah, no, it still looked weird. So then since this was a cut crease, I thought, okay, maybe if I just like make the cut crease not so sharp and just kind of like diffuse it, maybe it'll look better. I tried that, it didn't work either. So I was like, okay, you know what, we're just totally switching gears. Now instead of like doing what I did with the first one, I have to just turn this into a smoky eye. So basically, if you use the reds, you have to use all the browns. There's just no getting around it, because the first two browns are so light that the red overpowers it. Like the first red will overpower it by being too bright, and the second red will overpower it by being too dark. So you have to use all three browns to make the reds a cohesive look. So you're forced to if you do use the red and you have this palette. So after I used the darkest brown, so after using all the browns, adding the darkest brown to my outer corner, it really changed my whole look and helped it look a lot better. So I ended up with more of a red smoky eye instead, and it just looked like a lot better than what it did when I first started, let me tell you. And then you'll see me add some eye topper. So I have like a bunch of these. These are from JCat. You can find them at Ulta. They're just like eye toppers, and they're like a glitter mousse like texture eye topper type thing. It's very similar to like the Natasha Denona ones, except this is more like mousse like, but whatever. So the point is, I just like patted it onto my eye just to give it a little extra oomph, because it was like lacking a little something. Well, it wasn't lacking a lot of things, but anyways, it just needed a little push, you know? It didn't add a lot to the look, but it still looked better with it than it did without it, you know? So anyways, I just feel like this palette was just like really not well thought out. And on top of that, by the way, did you guys notice I kept saying the light brown, the medium brown, and the dark brown? And that's because none of the colors have names. Not just in the front, but there's no names on the back. Like on the back, it's just a freaking sticker that says magnetic eyeshadow palette, and then some stuff in French, and then it says made in Canada and Stellar Beauty. That's it. Isn't that so strange? It doesn't have the names, and like the sticker isn't even on like, you know, straight. It's like crooked. It makes it look, you know, kind of tacky. And this is $42, by the way. $42. Like that's the same price range as like Urban Decay, Too Faced, Kylie, Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like, how is this in any way comparable to any of those brands? Like that's just crazy to me. That's just bananas. So yeah, this palette was definitely not a winner for me. I mean, if you ask me how the formula was fine. Like it wasn't patchy. It was very easy to blend, build, and all the stuff you want from an eyeshadow formula. This had it. But the thing is, like, is it worth it though for $42 for very like no variety? Like, because basically you're getting gold, red, and brown. That's it. Because all the golds look the same, the reds look the same. You know, like why would you pay $42 for that? Like I would rather get something else. Like, yeah, it just didn't work out for me. And on top of that, there's two palettes, right? So the other one is the same concept. So it's like a bunch of blues that look similar to each other. So don't you think it's weird that the palettes don't have names? Like to differentiate them? Like, you know what I mean? Like Naked 1, Naked 2. This could be Stellar 1, Stellar 2 or something, but it's not. It's just, they both don't have a name. It's just so weird. But anyways, so now on to the products that I actually care about. The foundation. So the foundation, I really like that they have pink undertones, because a lot of foundations don't. Oh, by the way, see, that's me showing you that some areas took foundation and some areas didn't. So if you do use this foundation, I guess you're gonna have to use 2 layers. I don't think it's a coverage issue. I think it's like the formula, like some areas stuck and some didn't, I think. So I'm not quite too sure if it's like a formula issue or if it's just like a coverage issue, but either way I had to use 2 layers for like every pore, every surface area to be covered, but I didn't really mind that. It's not a big deal to me. I would prefer it if it was just like, you know, 1 layer, but 2 layers is fine too, because in the end the result was, you know, worth it, I guess you could say. So I really like that it was a pink undertone, because pink undertone really brightens up my skin, and pink undertones are hard to find in foundations, especially once you get to the darker colors. Like once you get to the medium section, there's usually no pink undertone, but for this one there is. So I really like that, because I like mixing my foundations to find the perfect shade in between. And so when I get to the medium section, there's usually no pink, you know, so I would have to get like a neutral, and then the light one would be a pink, you know, for another brand. But I like that this one had pink all the way through the shade range. So I like that. I didn't mind that I had to use 2 layers. I would prefer if I didn't have to. The finish was nice. It wasn't too dewy and it wasn't too matte, so it was very skin-like, and it was like the long wear of it was good enough for me, because like I have combo skin, so usually when something's not like matte, it'll definitely slide off my face, but this one actually wore well through the day when I used my own powders though. Not with their powder, but with my own powders. It wore well throughout the day. But yeah, and then the formula is very liquid and light. Like the viscosity is very thin, so it pumps out like water. So it's really thin and very light, so that's why, like, you know, blending and building was like really easy with it. So I really don't mind that. And usually when something's really watery, it's very like dewy. This wasn't, so I like that it was a very like in-between type of finish. So that was nice. So I like the foundation. And then for the concealer, I like the concealer. Again, it did have pink undertones, so I really like that. And it's very creamy. It's a creamy concealer, and it has a lot of coverage, which I love, because for me, I have a lot of sunspots and freckles right here, like on top of like this area. So, you know, I really need coverage for that. And on top of that, I had some blemish scars too. So it helped me cover that up. So I definitely look for a lot of coverage when it comes to concealers, because I have that issue. So this definitely made the cut. So I like that. And then as for the setting powder, you guys are gonna see it in a little bit after I contour. So for the setting powder, it's really weird because it smells odd. First of all, it smells weird. And usually like makeup smells like makeup, but this just smells weird. And then 2, I mean, you could ignore it if you actually fall in love with this product. It's ignorable, but for me, since I didn't like the product, I was like, it smells odd. Second of all, the product, when you look at it, I can't show it to you without spilling it everywhere, but you know how like translucent loose powders, usually they're either white or they're white with some tint in it. Like Laura Mercier isn't technically like just white, it has some like beige in it. It's like yellowish, a yellow tint to it. This one, like it's tinted to the point where like it's not even a tint anymore. It literally looks like beige powder. So when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't darken my foundation, you know? But it did end up darkening my foundation. So then my end result looked kind of weird. So like when my makeup is all done, it's like you look at it and you're like, something's off, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And that's because the setting powder darkened my foundation. So definitely, I recommend you use your own setting powders that you know and love, because the liquid complexion is good, but I didn't like the setting powder. So yeah. That's why I hope that the comparison was helpful for you in the beginning, showing you my powders versus like their powder. And so now I'm just like contouring and highlighting all that stuff. So while I do that, since it's so basic and everyone really knows how to do that, I just really want to get this off my chest, because like this is like my, what, like my 6th take. Like literally I've done this 6 times. Like it's just so, because I'm so frustrated, because you know when you're really frustrated, you just keep like fumbling over things and it's just really hard to like focus and stuff like that. So leave it in the comments down below. Like let me know if you guys have ever experienced this or are currently experiencing it. But like it's just so hard with my ex right now, because like I don't know, he just has this ability to like, even sometimes when we're not on speaking terms, not even sometimes, even when we're on non-speaking terms, he'll do this. It's like he's really psychic. Like it's like he's like telepathic or something. Like he knows whenever I'm in a good mood or whenever I'm about to do something, like go work out, go to school, like go to sleep or something like that. It's just like I'm in a good mood and he ruins it, or I'm about to do something and he puts me in a mood where I can't do it, you know? Like it's like when I film, I want to be in a good place, you know? I want to put positivity out there to you guys. I don't want to be negative and like Debbie Downer or anything like that. So when he calls me and puts me in a sad mood and hurts my feelings and puts me in a Debbie Downer mood and kills my day, then of course I project that onto you guys, you know? So that's why I wanted to like kind of vent about it in this take, because I feel like maybe that'll make the video better, because I mean 5 takes ago it wasn't good enough, so maybe if I get this off my chest it'll be fine, you know? But yeah, it's just like today was one of the best days I've ever had in a really long time. Like I got so much done. I went to go visit my mom. I made my mom happy with a Chinese New Year tree. Like it's currently Chinese New Year right now, and if you're not, or Lunar New Year, whatever you want to call it, but if you're not Asian and you didn't know, we celebrate it like Christmas. Like it's like drawn out for weeks. So you know how you celebrate Christmas usually right after Thanksgiving? It's like that, and you celebrate it up until actual Christmas Day. This is the same concept. Like we don't celebrate it just one day like you guys do, like just one day New Year's. We celebrate it the same way, like Christmas style, and we actually get trees too. There's like a specific tree, and I got that for my mom, and it made her really happy. And those suckers are freaking expensive, okay? And like, yeah, but anyways, so she really loved it and made her happy. And you know, I was just having a really great day, and I was in a great mood. I finished all the stuff I needed to do. I was just so happy. Okay, I came home, I literally hit the record button, and he called me, and then I turned off the camera and I talked to him, and everything was fine. And then I don't know how it like came up, but then he just like said like it only took like a handful of words. It literally was like 3 or 4 words, and it's not me being sensitive, okay? I'm not gonna say what he said, but it's not me being sensitive. He really was very hurtful, and it just like this whole amazing day, boom, nail in the coffin. It just killed it. And I was just like, okay, you know what? Like, I gotta go. I'm busy. Bye. You know, like to him, it was nothing, but to me, like, it was very hurtful. And it sucked too because I was just starting to film, and I really wanted this to be like a positive, fun, great video for you guys. But like, honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I thought I could do it, but 5 takes proves that I couldn't. So I just really had to get this off my chest. So hopefully, maybe if you guys are in the same position I am, hopefully maybe this isn't actually a bad thing. Maybe this gives you something to relate to. So if you guys have ever experienced this, please do leave this in the comment down below. Maybe it'll help, you know, another person out too, you know? So yeah, anyways, so time for us to go back to the video. You know, wait, one more thing. The thing that really gets me is just that it's not that I'm frustrated at him. I'm frustrated at him for acting that way, but I'm also frustrated at myself because I really wish I could be like, thank you, next, like Ariana Grande, but I just can't, you know? It's just, I'm frustrated at myself that I let him get to me. Like, I let him stop me from doing me, you know? You should never let anyone stop you from doing you and stop you from having a good day, but I let him, and it's because I care about him, and that just really sucks, you know? And I just wish that he just took into consideration that I do care about him, and I wish that he would be more considerate of my feelings and not say things like that, you know? So yeah, okay, now I'm done. Now I got that off my chest. Okay, so KKW Nude 1 lip liner, and now I'm using Baddest Beige on my lips. I kept hearing about Baddest Beige from like so many influencers, and I've never used like Maybelline lipsticks before, so I decided to give it a shot because like I just kept hearing about it. The formula is actually really good. It goes on so nice, so smooth, very creamy, very hydrating actually. But the weird thing is, like, after 5 minutes, literally after 5 minutes, you know that line that you get on the inner part of your mouth after you've worn lipstick for too long? You know how like it dries up and there's like a line? You literally get that after 5 minutes, and even though I try and scrub it off, it won't come off. And then when I try and put more on top to cover it up, it doesn't cover up. So it's just like, it's really weird. And I wore Baddest Beige for both looks, and both times it happened like within 5 minutes. So I'm just like, that's really odd. So does that happen to you guys? Does any of you guys have like Baddest Beige or just like Maybelline like lipsticks in general? Like, how do you prevent that? Because like my lips are always very hydrated. Like I always put chapstick or lip balm on them before, and lip scrub and everything before I use lipstick. So like, it shouldn't be like a hydration problem. It seems to be like a formula problem to me. But anyways, wow, that was a lot of ranting about a lot of things. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was very helpful to you, especially since this is a new brand. I hope the comparison was helpful. I hope that my story was relatable to you guys. And I just hope you guys have a really great day. And I hope that you guys do you, because I couldn't. So I hope you do you. So I hope that made sense too. So anyways, that is enough of me talking way too much. Have a great day, you guys, and good night.